what? We're live.
Hey, guess what? It's Jess the Sky Kid. It's Thursday night. We're at Beer and Bones, and this...
Bones and beer.
Bones and beer?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. We're at the B&B, Night of the Round Table.
Kiff points as always.
On the phone with us from Las Vegas, Nevada is those bunch of jerks. Hey, jerks. How you doing? It's Jerk.
Hey. Hi, Jess.
Hello.
Hi, Jess.
So, quick introductions, your name, what it is you do in the group, and if you are missing human beings, please fill in the gaps.
My name's Matt, and I play guitar in Jerk, and sometimes I sing.
My name's Josh, and I play bass, lead vocals.
And we're missing our drummer right now, because you know how drummers are. They just do their own thing. So, but that's Josh Howard, and he's not present right now.
So, I know that you all had anticipated coming here, but I want to thank you for taking the time out of your evening, because it's early out there. It's 2 hours behind us. It's dinner time by you guys, basically, to come on the show.
Yeah.
We'll start with, how'd you come up with your name?
I just thought the name Jerk sounded funny, and kind of took it from like bands like Screeching Weasel, The Queers. Kind of wanted to have that kind of persona. So I kind of just came up with it. It's just kind of like it was just a word, and I went with it.
It's short, easy to remember, and when people ask me, I always say that that's just what our ex-girlfriends call us.
Oh, something you'll never forget.
Yeah, the band was named by a bunch of exes that collectively call us Jerk.
Oh.
Yes.
So, is this lineup, the three of you, the original founders of Jerk, or has it seen other sorts of, lineup changes and that sort of thing? Talk about the history of this band.
It started in 2015. Our first show was in November. And the original lineup was myself, Josh Howard, and Tate Hall on bass. And then we started to write music and play a lot of local shows in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then I became friends with Matt at a bar, and he was playing already in another pop punk band. And he kind of left the band for his own reasons. And I hit him up and said, hey, I would love to have a second guitarist. Is there any way you'd be interested in that? And he said, yeah. His first show was at Hard Rock Vinyl with the Interrupters. And after that, Matt's been band ever since.
Yeah. I just joined Sam about 2.5 years ago. And we practiced like one time, and they're like, yeah, we want you on board. And our next show is next week at Hard Rock. Can you play it? I was like, wait, I don't know these songs yet. Give me, I'll try. So anyway, that was pretty cool because like I jumped in the group. We went from a 3-piece to a 4-piece, and within a week, I'm playing like on a really awesome stage I never thought I'd play on at the Hard Rock in Vegas, and opening for the Interrupters, who I love. And then in the last 6 months or so, we went from a 4-piece to a 3-piece. Tate decided to step away and focus on his family, which is fine. So Josh went to playing bass, and now I'm
the swinger.
Now I'm just the only guitar player. So now I have more responsibility.
Oh, no. Like remembering interviews. Oh, just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to apologize right now. So,
right. The theme of the night is to be a jerk, right? So I'm allowed no holds barred.
Let me tell your listeners what happened. Okay, so we had this book, your radio show booked months ago, and we were planning on being there in your basement tonight to play live, like I did before.
Mm-hmm.
And so, obviously, with COVID-19 and the lockdowns and everything, that all fell apart, and we canceled the whole tour. But it kind of slipped my mind to reach out to you and say, hey, we're not going to be in Wisconsin. So when you talked to me 2 days ago and said, that we were getting ready for the show, I was just kind of like blindsided a little bit because I wasn't. It didn't. That's my mistake. I totally forgot.
So the funny thing is, I'm shocked you remember how many days ago since we had to go through the days of the week. What do your underwear say today, Matt?
I know it's Thursday
What?
because I know that every Thursday is Jess the Ska Kids radio show night.
So when you decided to book this, did your band members in Jerk see you do the underground thing when you were here with Fall Risk?
I did see it.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, if you've been paying attention or not, because, COVID has everybody kind of like, I think comfortably numb at this point. Like, we've been so stressed that our trauma just makes us go, never mind. But we moved. So when you do come and play, it's a brand new, fancy, non-moldy, comfortable basement.
Less dank.
Wow.
I know. Not that we were trying to sell out, but the basement is laid out pretty nicely. I digress.
Is it a little bigger?
It is a lot bigger,
Much.
and it's laid out in such a way that you guys can perform. You don't have to tear down, and then we just walk to the other side of the room and do the interview.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, that's awesome. I wish we were there, and as soon as believe me, we are anxious and ready to get back on the road, and especially the Midwest where we love playing. We've had a few tours throughout Wisconsin, Illinois, all throughout the Midwest, and we always love being out there.
So let's talk about that a little bit. With your first show being at Hard Rock just a couple years ago, so would that have been 2018? Where?
What year are we in? No, it's 17. October 2017.
Okay.
That was my first.
So about 3 years ago in a few months. Since then, and that first awesome show, what a way to be indoctrinated into the band. Where have you guys gone since then? Talk about tours and where you've traveled. Where have your travels led you?
We've done 2 Midwest tours. We've done 2 Northwest tours, up Portland, Oregon, up to
Seattle, up the California coast.
Ooh.
Earlier this year we went all around Texas, which was amazing. That was our first time going through Texas, and we loved it. We were supposed to be there actually.
March.
Was it March? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that we actually left for that tour, and we made it about 150 miles outside of Vegas before we were like, this is a bad idea, and we turned around and canceled everything.
Yeah. How?
Because it was.
Go on.
It was literally like right when everything was shutting down. We were going on social media, and every single band was canceling their shows and their tours. Venues were closing down, and we were up for quite a while the night before tour. We were leaving, and we were trying to figure out if this was a good idea, if we should go. And it was a real push and pull game between the three of us trying to decide if we should follow through with the tour. We decided to load up the van, and we started driving to Wyoming. We're driving through Utah just past St. George, and after it's 3 a.m, and Josh wakes us up because we were driving through a blizzard, and he's like, "This is a really bad idea. This is a bad sign. We need this tour is not going to happen." And ended up being a very smart decision for us because literally every venue was closing down. In days.
So let's talk about that. I like, having the perspective now from people across the country as to how this has affected them. I mean, you made it that far and decided to turn around. Did venues contact you? Were they courteous enough to reach out and say, hey, because of this, we're going to close, so you guys might, you don't have a show you might want to consider? Or did you make the decision yourselves and never hear from anybody again?
We made the decisions. I sent out the email saying, hey, because of what's going on right now, I don't think it's safe idea for us to go around the country playing shows. And at this time, we really wanted to be with our families. We didn't, that was in the beginning. We didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, everything was so unstable, and I was really nervous about leaving for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I have a family at home, and it was a tough decision to even like attempt to go through with the tour. So we decided we contacted all the venues and said we won't be able to follow through, and then most of those venues, if not, I'm pretty sure actually all of them, yeah, they had to close their doors within days of us canceling the tour. So it was going to be inevitable, and I'm glad that we didn't get much further than Utah. It was,
right. Get
yeah,
stranded
it was
someplace and then be like, well, it's like the Oregon Trail. You die of dysentery, all of your oxen die. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, like, we're going to go pretty far into Texas.
Mm-hmm.
What's the furthest east that we would have gone? Like, Dallas? I don't know Texas very well, but we've been at least as far as Dallas, maybe further than that. I don't know the cities very well, the geography of it. But you don't want to be 2,000 miles away from home and then,
Screwed on money.
yeah, and then all of a sudden everything gets catastrophic, like the virus turns into zombies or some shit like that,
I mean, there's still a possibility 2020 isn't fucking done. It's like...
yeah, let's not jinx it, knock on wood.
I mean, if... Not that... I can't say I'm God-fearing, but I'm learned a bit in the Bible, and, Revelations, as well as when the Israelites were eventually released from Egypt and Pharaoh, there were multiple plagues, so I don't know which plague we're at quite yet, but the locust plague thing that's, in the Bible, apparently this is the year that those cicadas come out, the ones that burrow underground for 17 years, so we're supposed to be, flooded with those in a month. And
great.
I guess the sun also is experiencing for, I don't know, the longest period of time so far to date, no, sunspots. The activity on the surface of the sun has cooled, and so that will impact crops. So, like I'm saying, this whole thing ain't done yet. There might fucking be zombies at the end.
To add on to that, I heard about different alignments of planets right now
that
happen every so often. And also, this is a really fun one. There's a volcano or something in Yellowstone, like in Wyoming, that is having some serious seismic activity, and the blast range of that will just maybe barely hit Vegas. I'm sure you'll feel it in Kenosha. So, good times all around.
We just need Godzilla and aliens, and we have fucking made the trifecta of all things that are, media.
You know what? I was thinking about it this morning, and I had this kind of idea, this thought. Maybe that Mayan calendar, remember in 2012?
Fuck yeah, maybe they were just slightly off.
Yeah.
Maybe they were off by 8 years, and this is it.
Right. I hate to think that it might be the end of the world, but the way that we're currently on this trajectory, it ain't looking good. I really try to be optimistic and hopeful most often, but the realist in me is we've made a list of those that will be in our community. And so when the tribes need to form, we have somebody who can do one of everything. So, that's... We'll go around the country collecting you guys.
We have our Road Warrior outfits ready to go.
And that brings me to a great question. When you do anticipate going back out and touring, I was going to ask, do you have a gimmick? That should be the gimmick.
Yeah, Road Warrior outfits. I like it.
Yeah, you heard it here first. But that is a good question. As far as the impact of this, you went home. Did you all quarantine? Did you not see your band members? How has this impacted you as far as practice is concerned and just kind of daily life? Because music for you guys is something that you do aspiring to make it a career, right? So how was that, how has this impacted you, I guess, emotionally, financially, practice-wise, friend-wise, that sort of thing?
I would say, I mean, we've seen each other. We practiced maybe like 4 or 5 times during this whole quarantine. So we did practice, but not much like we would usually. But we started writing more new songs for the new album that we're working on at the moment right now. So we took time to still keep music in our lives. It's just, obviously, we can't play live.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time writing. We did one acoustic video with just me and Josh playing acoustic guitars, didn't we?
I think that, and we did one live.
We did one live broadcast, like Facebook Live thing with the whole band, which was fun. And then I do once in a while I might throw up a video playing acoustic guitar, but I will say that emotionally it's been very stressful. Definitely for all of us, but I can say for me myself, I mean, canceling tours sucks. It's not something you want to do. And we were scheduled to play punk rock bowling last weekend.
Yeah.
We were on one of the club shows opening for Andrew WK, which we were very, very excited about.
That's cool.
And you know, we waited for a long time to get a crack at playing punk rock bowling. It was really it was just devastating that it got canceled. We also, this last tour that we should have been on in March, we were supposed to play the Viper Room in Hollywood, which is something that I was really looking forward to. We were all looking forward to, and having to cancel it was just a bummer. So it's definitely emotionally taxing having to go through this.
So, have you been working from home? Have you been working at all?
No, I'm in unemployment.
Okay. And how stressful was that, trying to figure that out?
You know what? I was one of the lucky ones. I signed up, and I didn't really have too much trouble with it. So
good.
I feel very fortunate. I'm one of the folks that didn't have problems with unemployment. John?
I mean, I had my problems with unemployment, and the stimulus check, that was awesome.
Yeah, that helped. That was nice.
That was nice.
I'll take another one of those. Sign me up for one more stimulus, please.
We'll see if that happens. There's rumors, right?
Yeah.
With the things...
It's been hard.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Nope, I'll wait.
I was going to say, one thing that was hard was being away from a lot of the people that we're used to seeing. Mm-hmm. Because for us, part of our weekly routine, especially like for me and Josh here, is on any given night that we can, we go to our Double Down, here in Vegas, or our local bars that we like to hang out, or down on East Fremont and see bands. And that's a kind of normal thing that we always do, and not doing that, it's noticeable.
It's weird, right?
You notice that something's off when you're not doing the things you're used to doing. It sucks.
With with punk rock bowling and some of the other important shows that you wanted to play on tour, is there a possibility that you'll be able to reschedule and play those again? Like with punk rock bowling, obviously there's tons of festivals right now that have gotten canceled for the year. Yeah. So did they tell you next year we'll do it and you can come back? Or is this oh, that was our chance, fuck it, now we're going to have to try again?
They had told us that it was postponed, and when it gets closer to the date, obviously at this time we're going to try to reschedule all the headliners, and we will get back to you for next year.
Yeah, they haven't guaranteed anything, and we're just keeping our fingers crossed, hopefully, that we can do that same show again next year. But, if Sean Stern's listening, we would really appreciate being able to play again.
Great.
Has Las Vegas opened?
Yeah, just opened last night.
Wow.
It opened last night.
Actually, last night me and Josh went out. So throughout the quarantine, Josh me and Josh, Josh is probably one of the very few people that I've seen regularly. You know, through the whole COVID thing, we stuck it out. We're hanging out. But we didn't see a lot of our other friends. Last night, me and Josh went out, and it was the first time that we went to Double Down in months. And if your listeners don't know the Double Down, that's like the punk bar in Las Vegas, and it's like world famous Double Down, happiest place on earth. So that's usually where we hang out. And we saw our friends Franks and Deans. They played last night, and that's the first time they played a live show in months as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was pretty weird to be in the bar again.
Yeah, it was a strange feeling being in a bar again. And then we went.
Are there
to Fremont
rules?
Street.
Yeah.
There's rules.
Yeah. For right now, most of the bars, they can only have 50% capacity. So, like, for the Double Down, they said once there's 75 people in the bar, you know, that's it. And then once people leave, you can have, if people are waiting in line, they would have to wait for a couple people to leave. Stuff like that. And all the bartenders and the staff would wear masks.
Yeah, nobody else was wearing masks in the bar, just the staff.
Does anybody find that ironic? Like, you know, it's not just the bartender who could potentially infect you, right? Like, I feel like we have this illusion of safety. Do you guys feel safe going out? Or do you feel like there's this underlying, well, I could still get sick?
I felt a little weird being there last night, to be honest. I mean, it felt good because I missed it. I missed being there. I missed my friends and everything. But there was kind of an underlying feeling of tension, and to me anyway, of if you know, you just don't know if it's safe. But if you've been to the Double Down more than once, there's a good chance you're already immune to COVID. So
it's the dive of dives.
yeah, a couple shots of their ass juice. So it's as good as any medicine they can come up with.
Like Malort?
It's like Malort. Don't get me started on Malort.
Yeah, when you come here next, that's got to be the thing.
I had it. I went. My friend in Chicago when I was there last year gave me a shot of Malort, and I almost puked it right back up.
What's wrong with you? Don't you know how to take your medicine?
I was just gonna say, what's wrong with you over there? Where'd you come up with this shit, Malort?
What? Whoa, calm down. I smoke cloves, motherfucker. Don't we know things? I like spicy shit.
Hey, I grew up in the Midwest. I get it. I'm just not into it.
That stuff is rough.
It's not.
But,
I don't know. I like it. Do you like absinthe?
I don't think I've had it.
Oh, okay. How about anything that tastes like black licorice?
Oh, yeah, I can do it all that.
Right, that's kind of like what Malort is.
I'm really into peanut butter whiskey, Screwball.
Oh, yes.
That's my stuff.
That's amazing.
I was actively seeking a sponsorship from Screwball for a while. I was hoping that, like, if they give me, like, free Screwball and pay for my strings and picks or something, I will wear a Screwball shirt to every show.
Wow. Under your
I will sell out. I will sell out in a heartbeat.
Under your Mad Max gear.
Getting back to what we were saying earlier, as far as Vegas reopening and stuff, after we went to Double Down last night, we went downtown to Fremont Street and checked out the casino that just opened last night, like at the stroke of midnight or something. Everything reopened.
That was crazy.
And it was strange. It's definitely strange.
Are there lots of people out? Was it like immediately flooded, or is it still sort of a ghost town?
I mean, once you're in the casino, you're like, wow, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people in the casino. But I wouldn't say like flooding onto Fremont Street. If you know Fremont Street downtown, for one, they have like metal detectors to actually walk onto Fremont Street, and you had to show your ID to a security guy or something, and he didn't really like look at it. He just glanced at it and let you walk through. And then when we walked into the D Casino downtown. They took our temperature before going in there.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was rectal, so that was really awkward.
Wow, it's like the aliens have come anyway. Everything's
that was just a joke.
In your butt. Well, I don't know.
They did take our temperature. You have to like put your wrist up to something, and Yeah, and so that's, and all the dealers in the casino were wearing face masks, face shields, and it was. But aside from that, the casino was jumping. I mean, there was 1 million people there
So,
gambling.
as I was reading the news from like March to present, it said that Vegas was really hit hard and that, almost all of Vegas was out, like the residents were out of any sort of employment and that it was a struggle. And so are all of you significantly struggling and this is like a saving grace to reopen? And how about protests? Like, have you guys experienced any of the George Floyd, undertakings that have been going on?
You want to take this one, Josh?
I'm happy that everything's starting to open. I mean, I hope their idea was, hey, we need to capitalize now and get started. I'm really happy that it's open because myself, I struggle because I'm in the service industry.
Mm-hmm.
I bartend and bar back, so like when that's shut down, I can't make any money. When I'm in town, we have in the last week we've experienced some of the protesting and the rioting. I've always read stories when I was in high school, like in history class. But actually, see it inside. It's in your city, like a couple blocks from you. It's pretty crazy to take it in.
Yeah. Same with me. So my day job when I'm not playing music is I drive people to the Grand Canyon, and
can we just come stay with you and you can just drive us to the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, I'm happy to take you. Anytime you want to go.
It's going to be a spiritual experience if you understand things.
It is amazing. It's beautiful. I also take people to Antelope Canyon out in Page, Arizona.
Ooh.
And Zion National Park in Utah. So that's my regular job, and it depends on tourism, which obviously shut down. Every time there's a depression, not a depression, what do they have? When the economy tanks, Vegas is going to get hit hardest and get hit first. So, Josh is in the service industry, so as am I, and, we lost our jobs first. So Vegas we got hurt, and hopefully it'll come back. I'm happy to see things starting to reopen, and I'm confident that it will come back. There's a little bit nerve-wracking, wondering if it's too soon.
But I believe you have to take some kind of steps.
Yeah, they definitely were taking the right steps towards reopening, and I hope that everybody's just very cautious and takes it serious. And if it gets much worse before it gets better, then I would hope that someone in charge would make the right decision and say we need we still need to wait it out a little bit longer.
Shouldn't we all just be in charge of ourselves?
I believe that. I really do. And, what do you do when there's a pandemic? I've never lived through a pandemic before.
You're lucky to say that. It's not done yet. You might not. Not to be a dick, but we don't know.
Thanks, Jess.
Hey, man, I'm here for the optimism.
As far as the protest, that is a really it's tough to see in your own city. Not the protests per se. I support the protest definitely, and standing up against police brutality. It makes me really sad to see the violence, though.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm all for people protesting, standing up for the rights, especially civil rights. That's important. But when it starts to get violent, we had a cop that was shot in the head or like the neck or something, and
through surgery.
Yeah, we had people getting tear gassed. People just getting hurt out there, destroying buildings, destroying businesses. That's hard to see in your own city.
Mm-hmm. This past week have been on a curfew.
Yeah, we had a curfew too.
I mean, it's weird. History, it would seem, is sort of repeating itself. And I caution everybody, and why I made the "shouldn't we govern ourselves" thing. I encourage freedom of thought because the Nazis were very successful and so were Mussolini and his fascists in creating things that caused distress and then forcing boundaries such as curfews, while then in the dark were able to establish their nefarious actions, which led to the Holocaust. So I caution us all to be very aware. It's not just police brutality, it's really the whole structure of the system. So
absolutely. I'm with
smash the state.
If our drummer Josh Howard was here right now, he could go on a pretty long tirade about statism and fascism, and it's one thing that I think that we as a band, like individually, we're very much about. We talk about stuff like that all the time, especially when we're on tour and we have hours on end in the band where we can, just have conversations. But we actually don't bring that very much into our music.
Mm.
Yeah. We're just not a political band. We don't want to be. I love Anti-Flag, but I don't want to
be them.
Write songs about.
And
we like songs about girls and beer, and that's
we like girls that call us jerks.
Yeah, and that's not to say that we don't have our individual beliefs and we stand up for stuff like that, but we don't bring it into our music. We want our music to be fun and light,
Right, because it's an outlet, as it
Yeah.
should be. So I'm sorry that we digressed a bit, so we'll go back to like the music component of things.
No, that's fine. We appreciate the conversation, of course.
With
any way you want to go.
Can you keep up? Can you keep up though?
Yeah,
So with you guys deciding as a group, as now things are sort of reopening, what does that look like for you all as far as making decisions as to playing out? Have you started to discuss what that looks like for you and possible tour, or like how does where are you going to pick up when you left off in March?
We have talked about it. So pretty much this summer we talked about talking about writing the rest of this new album that we want to release, and I would say about September or October, where we talked about maybe heading back to the Midwest for maybe like a week or two or something. We're just kind of waiting for the summer to see how it pans out.
Yeah.
And see how things get cleaned up.
I think we're like I said earlier, we're really anxious to get going. We definitely want to, but it has to be we have to be cautious.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, well, for one, like right now, we're basically just keeping an eye out on venues, seeing who's opening, what cities are opening, what it's looking like. And when we do start to play out, I imagine we're going to be going on shorter runs than usual. We're not going to be out for 3 or 4 weeks, across the country. We're probably going to be doing weekends, around Arizona, California, and, maybe up to a week or 5 to 10 days, just to stay somewhat close to home.
Mm-hmm.
And play it by ear, really.
You had mentioned to me when we were discussing how we wanted to do the second portion of the Share the Music thing that you have a practice space. Is your practice space like a place that you rent and they were open during this that allowed you to do that? Do they have rules, or what does practice look like for you? Where is that and how does that work?
So our drummer Josh, he has like a small duplex apartment, so we pretty much play in his living room.
Oh.
So we don't really have to go through a studio or anything. We've used the studio a few times, but the studio's recently, like two and a half weeks ago, the studios just opened, like rehearsal studios. They just started opening to make business for themselves. But we don't use the actual rehearsal studio all the time. We usually just practice at Josh's apartment.
That's nice. That makes things a lot easier.
Yeah. But we will use professional practice space every now and again, just to
Or demos.
Yeah, we can do a little more stuff there.
Talk about that. You've mentioned it now, I think maybe 5 times through the interview. You're in the process of writing a new album. So where in this process are you? When can folks anticipate that? Tell us about the recording process for you and this new album.
Oh, well, we've been writing new songs since the beginning of this year. We were in January. We had 3 days off in Portland, so we stayed with a friend of ours, and he was very hospitable, let us stay with him, and we just stayed there. And we ended up writing a new song that we played for the rest of that tour in those 3 days, and we've been kind of adding on new songs every however long it takes, and now we feel like we're about maybe 50%, 60% ready to get a new album going. So we just signed with Mom's Basement Records.
I saw that.
Yeah, and they re-released our album from last summer, Panic Attack, on their label. And we're very happy about that. Mom's Basement Records is a great fit for us. They're a pop punk label. And John, who runs it, he's a great guy, and he's done a lot for us. But, obviously, COVID happened, so we were ready to go out and start promoting that album for the label again, and before COVID hit. And, it all came crashing down. So now, when things start reopening, we're going to be promoting that album and playing that one out. But John from Mom's Basement said that he's ready to release an album for us probably about a year from now, if we're ready. And we know that we're going to be ready, and we have most of the material lined up, and we have an idea of what we want to put together. So for us, we record here in Las Vegas at Digital Insight Studio.
That's where we recorded the last album.
That's where we recorded Panic Attack. And the guy who records us, Mike Lavin, he's a great engineer. He really knows what he's doing. He's a drummer for a band here in Vegas called the Plurals, which you should all check out. It's an amazing, awesome punk band that we love, and they're great guys.
So, how did you get signed? How does that work? How did that work?
I don't know. I really don't know. Josh, how'd that happen?
It's an enigma. All of a sudden, somebody owns us.
Josh just told me one day, hey, we're on Mom's Basement Records. I was like, hey, that's cool.
I have a lot of my friends from the Midwest and East Coast are on that label, Mom's Basement Records. And a friend of mine, that band that's on there, that every time I play Indiana, I grew up with a lot of those guys, they're on that label, and they're like, oh, great pop punk label, you should look into it. So I did, and I talked to John for a while. I was like, hey, we just put out this album, Panic Attack. I'm kind of just looking for a decent label I can work with that's going to work back with me, and I'm going to work with them. Is there any way we could work out some deal? So he put us on a low risk called Mom's Dwellers.
Yeah, it's like a sub-label of Mom's Basement called Sellers Dwellers.
Okay.
So he started us off there, and we pretty much hit the ground running. And John likes us, so he said that the next release is going to be Mom's Basement official, which we're excited about. And like I said, they've done a lot for promoting for us and helping us get the record out. So we're happy about that. It's nice to be on a label that really, it's a pop punk label. It's like I said, it's right up our alley. It's a perfect fit for us. So
Kind of talk about that. What are the benefits of being on a label as opposed to just doing it yourself?
I would say, for so long, Jerk started till, we got on Mom's Basement. We did everything on our own.
and all DIY.
Super DIY. From myself networking with the many people online through Facebook groups to what playing shows. It's a lot of work DIY, but I feel like if you can get an extra pull with a label that helps you with distro and gets your name out there, has better connection with the reviews, and to the point where us, the guys in the band, that we can more focus on recording and writing and not have to worry about. So I still do all of our booking, which not all labels do your booking for you or whatnot. But I really like Mom's Basement because they're just right in the middle.
They've helped a lot with promoting, and the distribution is really important. Mom's Basement has a lot of connections. They do a lot of distribution in Europe and Japan. So being able to have that support where they can get your music, on the other side of the world, and it's a whole network because they also have bands on the label from Italy and from different parts of the world. So it creates you jumping onto a label like that is coming into a network of that really helps your band as well as helping other bands and helping the label as well, because it's our job to help promote the label as well.
So when you get signed, do you pay to be signed?
Not with this. I mean, Mom's Basement, they're an independent label. So there's no contract.
Yeah. At first, this is just everything's just verbal contract right now, just through text. Like I said, John's been great. He's a very easygoing guy, and so no, we didn't have to pay.
Because when you go through CD Baby, for example, for distribution, you pay an annual fee and then they distribute it. With labels, they just sign you and then what? They expect you to produce, and if you don't, then you get dropped?
I would say if it was on a contract, our stuff with Mom's Basement is pretty much we can sell. There's no amount of hey, you have to sell 60 or you're on the shit list.
Okay. All right.
We're handling our own online distribution right now.
Okay.
That's pretty simple stuff, just going through CD Baby and those platforms. But he's pressing CDs for us and distributing them, the physical copies, through his network. I don't know where those CDs are going, but I know he said some are going to Japan, and he's selling them on the website.
When you join or then are signed by a label, are there restrictions? Are there things that you can't do?
Is there anything we can't do? I don't know. We're like Motley Crue. We just do whatever.
I'm just curious as far as people want to get signed, and then you hear these horror stories of we wanted to make this kind of music and they told us no because it didn't fit this, or we did this, we created this image and they said no, we couldn't do that. And so
we haven't crossed that bridge yet because John picked, he heard the record that we made and that he wanted that record. So
good.
Hopefully he'll be as enthusiastic with the next stuff that we put out. And we're pretty much. We're not going too far off the rails with our new music. We stick to our pop punk style, and we're happy with that.
How about artwork and merchandise? Are they now will you supply them an image and they make that for you, or are you still having to create merchandise somewhere else, or how does that work? T-shirts, buttons, that sort of thing.
with any of like merchandise, the only thing we've done with them, when they re-released the Panic Attack CD, it's like a bundle, it was an exclusive T-shirt that a friend of ours, Brian from Sheiks of Neptune, created, and we gave him that image, and they printed that, and it was like you got a T-shirt and stickers and some buttons and the CD.
Yeah.
And it was ran for like about a week and a half.
Yeah. So the label actually had the shirts printed for us, and he sold a bunch of them through his website and sent us a portion of that money. So that was actually nice. We actually just got money for actually doing nothing.
Have you guys made any money over the course of the past few months through any sort of merchandise sales or music sales? Have people been like understanding and generous?
Just here and there.
We sell stuff regularly through like Facebook and when people reach out to us and they want merch and stuff. I would put it this way: we have not made more money selling merch during quarantine than we have made with our stimulus checks.
Yeah.
Oh. Have you taken advantage of band camps those few times that they were like 100% goes to you? Did you try to push your band camp? And did you see anything?
I think we were lazy during that.
You were lazy.
We didn't
Matthew!
push it too much. We just,
Well, you have an opportunity tomorrow, because tomorrow band camp is again having a free Friday where all of the proceeds go to the artist.
That's good news, but I plan on being hungover tomorrow.
Oh my God! Music is on your life, like on the back burner, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's number one or two.
Mm. Oh, so as far as imagery goes,
artwork.
Yeah, who does your artwork? Or do you guys make?
We have a few local artists that we work with that we really love. Number one, our friend Brian is a local artist, and he's a guitar player in this band called Sheiks of Neptune, and we love his artwork.
I like that name, Cheeks and Neptune.
Yeah, now that's a great band that I'd love to mention again. Sheiks of Neptune from Las Vegas.
Cheeks
they are
Neptune.
What are they?
It's like a surf acid metal rock.
Ooh.
Acid, metal, punk, and they have a violin.
Ooh.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know what. You just have to look them up. They are a great band. They're really all great dudes and friends of ours, and they're very fun live. And
Give a chance, check them out.
Yeah, so Brian from that band, he does some of our designs. We also, the band I mentioned earlier, the Plurals from Las Vegas, the singer of that band, he designed all the artwork for our album Panic Attack, and Trent Clausen from the Plurals, and he does amazing artwork as well. So when we find artists that we like, we stick with them. What Andy?
Andy Harrison, he designed our mummy shirt.
Yeah, Andy Harrison did our logo, our mascot, which is the mummy.
Ooh.
And he also does a lot of flyers for our shows. So I'm actually very proud of a lot of the flyers that we have for shows that we've had in the past. And that's all because of Andy, and he does really, really good stuff. He's very very quick and efficient with his artwork, which we love.
I don't think you had any Jerk merchandise when you came to our house.
No, I guess I didn't.
Weird.
I mean, I was on tour with Fall Risk, so it would have been awkward if I was trying to sell jerk.
Why? What? How is that any more or less awkward than saying I'm gonna book with my other band with you while you're setting up to play with the band you're there with? It's not awkward.
I mean,
aren't they supportive of you?
I didn't try to sell you anything. I wasn't like, hey.
They didn't sell us anything either.
We gave you stuff. We didn't sell you anything.
Yeah.
the guys are listening, I'm sorry.
No, I think, there's stuff I need to acquire then. There's always more stuff because our, bands that send us stuff, we do the Merch Monday thing, which we've been lax at because nobody gives us stuff or uses the platform. Hey, did you know that you can take a picture of your fucking merchandise, post it on our page on Mondays, hashtag Merch Monday, make sure to tag your band, and we share it all over the place?
We gotta do that. Shit. Woo.
It's
Good idea.
free, and if
idea.
every fucking band did those things, maybe, it's a free promotion. Why not? The only thing you...
Jess, I'm just gonna throw this out here.
What?
Do you want to manage our band?
Well, I thought Thomas was managing you.
No, Thomas isn't managing Jerk. He's managing Fall Race.
Well, he didn't manage very good because y'all were supposed to be on the show April 30th. Oh, sorry.
Woo! Sick burn.
Yeah. I just find it funny when I got a message from him. I was like, wait a second, why didn't Dustin just message me himself? And he was like, I manage them now. And I was like, you do, but he could have just emailed me. He did it the first time.
Thomas has been great. Love Thomas. As far as all these little things that we keep neglecting, like
Thomas is
Bandcamp
really good
promotion
about that, the Merch Monday thing.
and merch promotion, all
So here's what you do. You guys are signed, right? Bring it up
Yeah.
to your label and say, hey, here's a way that's free to collaboratively work with another entity to help us. And just bring it up to them and see if they start utilizing it for their bands.
Yeah.
I try.
We-
Noodle that
I
one.
like that. What we really need is someone, and if anybody's listening and they're bored, they want the job, if they want to handle all the Jerk business stuff, you're hired, because I can't deal with that. I'm trying to learn goddamn guitar solos right now.
We can pay you in pizza and ham.
Yeah. I'm trying to write a whole new album. I don't have time to deal with Bandcamp and PayPal and merchandise. I don't like that stuff.
So
I like just playing my guitar.
Right. It's always good to have one human who does all of the managerial stuff. It is a business.
Yeah.
So.
We need somebody who's going to handle all the stuff after we check out of the hotel room that we trashed.
All the crew stuff.
Yeah, we need somebody that's going to handle the problems.
Good thing you're not staying in a hotel. I'm booking you at your friend's house. No.
We need somebody to handle the law, handle the police.
No one can handle the police. That's why we're rioting.
That's true.
I mean, you want somebody to take a bullet for you, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's the kind of manager we need.
That kind of being said, where, and you're sick of dealing with all of the multiple entities, where can people find you online, though?
Oh, well, we were about to get our website made, and that fell through. We put that on the back burner. But easiest way to find us is on Instagram. We are at Jerk Punk Rock. On Facebook, you just type in Jerk Punk Rock. Let's see, what else? We're on Bandcamp. Josh just left the room. He didn't say why, but I know you can find us on Bandcamp. Our whole album's free on YouTube or Apple Music. If you have Apple Music or Spotify, we're on all those platforms as well.
Okay.
So we're all over the internet, all the regular platforms.
What merchandise do you have currently for sale?
Oh, we have a few different T-shirt designs. We have our mummy. We have one great design that our friend Brian made was Jess Piccoli from Hard Times, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that design. It has Jess Piccoli on it. Says, "Hey bud, let's party."
I like it.
Yeah, it's kind of our thing. We're like I said, we're pretty lighthearted with the stuff that we write about. We have a few different T-shirts. really, if anybody wants merch, they send us a message. You know, we handle all that stuff ourselves. We were going to try and set up an online store on a website, which never got made.
Well,
Again, that's why we need a manager.
It's in the works. Just say it's in the works.
It actually really was in the works. It was on our list of things to do, like, for 2 months ago, before the world fell apart.
Yeah. So, if somebody who is listening currently wants a CD or a T-shirt or to book you, how should they contact you? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Hold on. Like I said, Josh just left the room.
Wait, you don't know? Matthew! I'm gonna Matthew you again.
I don't do this. Okay, here we go.
You did this, though. You should have been prepared. No.
Email us at jerkpunkrock@gmail.com. That's jerkpunkrock@gmail.com.
Send them your complaints. Just kidding.
Oh, yeah, send all complaints that way.
Not by homing pigeon.
We post pictures of our merch and stuff we have. We post that all the time on our Facebook. So if you see anything you like, you can message us through Facebook or email us, and we'll handle all that ourselves.
jerkpunkrock@gmail.com. And people can find your music on all of those different streaming platforms. We're gonna play Panic Attack on the second portion of the show. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, or does Josh need to be present because you don't know about the album?
I know things. The album is one of the few things I actually do know about.
Good, then speak to that, my friend.
All right, Panic Attack. Well, so before I joined the band, the guys, they had an album called Get Rad, which was pretty low budget, recorded DIY CD that the guys made. And by the time I joined the band, there was a handful of new songs plus some songs that me and Josh wrote. And when we went to Mike Lavin at DI Studios, Mike had the idea of taking a few of the songs off the first album, the really strong songs, and then re-record those songs along with the new songs that we had, and that's how we ended up with Panic Attack. And in the end, I think that was really a great decision, and we have Mike Lavin to thank for that, and we ended up with an album that we're very happy with. It was named Panic Attack. I don't know where that was Josh's idea, and
it's a hard-hitting album.
It's probably because Josh had a panic attack on tour one time.
Okay.
And he's back. The artwork for that was by Trent Boston, like I said not long ago, our buddy from the Pluralses. I love the artwork. Let's see, what else about that album? That was recorded at DI Studios, and we're happy with it. We're very happy. I like to call it our first release.
Yeah.
So how about what can listeners expect? How would you describe the sound? Is there a song in particular that's your favorite?
What's your favorite song on the album, Josh?
I would say Just You would be my favorite.
Josh's favorite song is Just You. My favorite song on the album is In My Dreams. I would say the album is, it's a pop punk album.
Very Ramones core.
Yeah, we didn't reinvent any wheels with this album. We just kind of put our hearts into it. You know, these aren't songs that are, very complex. They're just about us, and I'd say the album describes us perfectly. We're just average guys, that write songs about girls and drinking beer and
good time.
Yeah,
He was a boy,
partying,
she was a
having
girl.
fun.
Can you make it any more obvious?
What?
I said he was a boy, she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious?
Oh, Avril Lavigne.
Did you like that? Come on. That was good.
Maybe when I was 14.
Wow, Josh just admitted that he liked Avril Lavigne.
Whatever. She came out with, Skater Boy, and like all the little girls were like, I want a wristband like that too. Only it's a sweatband. So.
She said, see you later, boy.
We're okay. We're not gonna do karaoke.
Enough of that.
But
Let's not do it.
in closing, so that we can play Panic Attack. How about a shout out? Do you guys want to like drop any bands that you've enjoyed playing with in Vegas that you think people should listen to and check out?
I have a few bands. They're not all local Vegas.
They don't have to be Vegas.
I would. Our friends from Indiana, Flamingo Nosebleed.
Oh, we know them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up with Jake for a long time.
Yeah, those are friends of ours. Throw in Portland.
Okay.
Those are the guys that we stayed with when we were there for a few days, and we love those guys.
Good old Franks and Dean.
Franks and Deans are buddies. Venomous Pinks down in Arizona. We were supposed to play 3 shows with them in March, and then that got canceled. But we played with them in January, and they're good friends of ours. What did I say earlier? Plurals, the Sheiks of Neptune.
Sheiks.
Anti-Vision's a great band here in Vegas. I love them.
The Implosions, Garage Rock.
The Implosions. Crimson Riot, friends of ours. Yeah, there's so many bands, and I'm sorry if we're forgetting. There's probably like dozens of bands that I could name, but they're not all coming to me. Wolfhounds.
That's all right. Your manager would know, right?
If we had one, he would be managing.
It'll be on the website.
Cheap shot, Jess. Cheap shot.
What? No, it's not. It's well placed and witty. It's called humor.
How about the witty?
So
if anybody wants to manage Jerk, we're taking applications.
Applications now available for a manager spot. You have to remember shows and commitments and take a bullet and book and promote as well as communicate with the label. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the job description. There you go.
Yeah. And bail us out of jail.
Oh, we ain't got bail money. Come on now. You should have saved that stimulus check, my friend, for when the things open back up. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's been fun.
So I hope to see you again in real life.
Yeah, I love Kenosha.
Yeah, actually, I really do like Kenosha. I like that whole area.
Oh,
We had a lot of fun.
I didn't tell you, when you left and you went to Frank's Diner the next morning,
Oh, yeah.
we went in that weekend and they were like, those boys you sent over were just so well behaved and polite. Thanks so much. They were just so fun. And I was like, okay. So.
Wow, they had to be sober.
That's nice. That was a really fun place. And when as soon as we can, we're anxious to get out there and get back to the Midwest.
I want to get back to the Cheese Castle.
Yeah, Cheese Castle.
I've never been there.
I want to go back to the Pabst Brewery.
I was at a wedding reception, sorta there. It was like their back hall area. There were pictures taken.
Never been.
Anyways,
Anytime.
we're going to let you guys go so that we can get to the second portion of the show, which is playing Panic Attack! And I thank you very much for joining us this evening, and thank you for holding true to your commitment.
Well, thank you for having us, and I'm really sorry that we couldn't be there. You know, that was the original plan. I really wish we could be there, but as soon as we can, we will get out there, and we're going to do a real live performance on the show, and we're going to make that happen as soon as we can.
great. And I'm sure I look forward to hearing from your new manager. We'll shoot emails back and forth about booking you. No.
Yeah. We will have him or her reach out to you.
Thank you guys so much. Josh, Matt.
Thanks,
Matt,
Jeff.
Josh. Have a great evening and adieu. Be safe.
Oh, bye. Good night. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
That was Josh and Matt. Matt and Josh, two-thirds of Jerk. And after a short break, we'll be right back where we will play from Bandcamp for you. Panic Attack! Okay?
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.